couldn't stand for that to happen. Fluffy was a lot faster than she was and quickly ran out of sight. Montana followed the sound of shrieks and screams, making her way through the streets of the town, dodging a peanut cart and narrowly missing a close encounter with two guys on bikes. She turned a corner just in time to see a tail disappearing through the automatic doors of a tall building. "No," Montana breathed, staring up at the hospital. "Not there. Anywhere but there." She raced forward, inwardly cringing at the thought of what Fluffy could do in a place like that. Big puppy feet on slippery floors were not a happy combination. She ran up the 6 steps leading to the entrance and dashed inside, only to find a trail of havoc marking the way. A supply cart was pushed against the wall. Linen spilled onto the floor. A little girl in a wheelchair grinned and pointed down the hall. Montana got to the bank of elevators only to find several people willing to tell her that yes, a dog had gotten on. She watched the light panel to see an elevator had stopped on the 4th floor, then jumped in the next one and rode up. The doors opened to the sound of screams. A chair lay on its side. More linens were scattered on the floor, along with a couple of charts. Up ahead, double doors marked the entrance to the burn unit. Various signs explained what could and couldn't enter that part of the hospital. A joyous bark told her Fluffy had violated every single posted rule. Not knowing what else to do, Montana followed the sound and pushed through the doors. Up ahead, several nurses were trying to corral the happy dog, while Fluffy did her best to lick all of them at the same time. When Montana called her, the dog turned and raced toward her, just as a doctor walked out of a nearby room. Fluffy did her best to stop. Montana saw her puppy paws scramble as the dog tried to slow, but she couldn't get traction on the floor. She started to slide, her butt went down, her front paws braced, and then she was zipping along in a sitting position. She plowed directly into the doctor, sending him tumbling into Montana. The doctor was about 6 inches taller and a whole lot heavier than Montana. His shoulder hit her chest, knocking the air out of her. They sailed across the floor, flying a few feet before stopping against the very hard floor, his body slamming into hers. Montana lay there, dazed. She couldn't breathe. All she felt was dead weight on top of her and a warm tongue licking her bare ankle. The man got off her and knelt beside her. "Are you hurt?" he demanded. She shook her head, then managed to gasp in air. Fluffy moved closer and sat down, looking calm and well-behaved. A trick Montana wasn't going to fall for. The man reached for her. He ran his large, long-fingered hands up and down her legs and arms, then felt the back of her head. His touch was impersonal, but it was the most action she'd had in months. Before she could figure out if she liked it, she looked at his face. He was the most beautiful man she'd ever seen. Eyes the color of green smoke, fringed by dark lashes, a perfect mouth with a strong jaw, his cheekbone. "She's fine," he said, turning to speak with someone behind him. When he shifted his head, she saw the other side of his face. Thick red scars grew from his shirt collar, along the side of his neck, to his left jaw and cheek. They spiraled, creating an angry pattern that looked painful and pulled his skin. She had a feeling her shock showed, but he didn't seem to notice. Instead, he grabbed her hand and pulled her to her feet. "Dizzy?" he asked curtly. "No," she managed, now that she could breathe again. "Good." He moved closer. "What the hell is wrong with you? What kind of irresponsible idiot allows something like this to happen? You should be arrested and charged with attempted murder. Do you know what kind of germs that dog has? That you have? This is a burn unit. These patients are vulnerable to infection. They are suffering with a level of pain you can't begin to imagine." She took a step back. "I'm sorry," she began. "Do you think anyone here gives a damn about you being sorry? Your thoughtlessness is criminal." She could feel his rage in every word. Even more scary than what he was saying was the way he was saying it. Not with a loud voice and a lot of energy, but with a coldness that left her feeling small and stupid. "I didn't think," he interrupted. "Yes, that much is